storm. I go from meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting, so.
We've got meetings all day.
Do you really? Have you heard anything from Mary?
I have not, but she did say, I mean, I did,
She'll
the other day, she said she was gonna be
Yeah.
here, so.
Okay.
You're gonna let us know when you go live?
It's live.
I wish you had said something.
I started it at 9 o'clock when the meeting was supposed to start. Sorry about that. I don't usually announce when I go live.
We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
You guys let Mary the queen chair. It's nice. Let Mary the queen chair.
Good morning.
Hey, Scott.
Hello.
So if you remember, one of the first things we checked is that seal, number that's recorded on here. Make sure it matches in the, poll book and also in your canvas or envelope on that.
There's no place to park, so she's probably trying to find a place to park.
I was right to legally, so.
Where? Oh,
On the side there.
That's fine.
Is it?
yeah,
And then technically it's 2 hours, but they don't typically enforce that.
not with her.
I'm in your third in that part.
But in the actual parking lot,
No, I'm in this little side thing there, pull out, that's right, usually parks the farmer's market. You never see anything.
Yeah. I think the League of Women Voters were supposed to come this morning
that's
as
true,
well.
they had called us and said that
Yeah.
someone would be here. Well, it's up to the chair, yes.
If we proceed,
Yeah. Whether we wait a few more minutes and proceed.
what time do we have?
9:03, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm happy to give her a little bit more
Yeah.
time. if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do
The parking.
Four more minutes or so.
So did everybody have a good winter?
Is it over yet?
I'm not sure.
I think today it might be over.
Yeah.
Good.
Done something.
Much of a winner.
No, I did not put the individual totals here for each
Oh,
of
well,
the,
this will be an attachment to this, it'll all be there, so that's
so
fine.
I can just go ahead and put their individual, well,
That'll be,
yeah, I can, you know, on the tapes and stuff.
right, you can use that, or I have, this is precinct results by ballot split, so we've got, and each of them has, so you guys as a pair have a copy of the cumulative results that shows everything on one page, and then you have a copy of the precinct results. And the precinct results are going to be by ballot split. So for instance, Adams Township will have two, one for Hillsdale Community Schools that includes the recall, and one that's just the recall. So each page is a separate split. Same thing with, Allen will have one for Quincy and one for Hillsdale that way. And that will probably be the most helpful when you're looking at the tapes that are paper clipped to your. And then, for members of the public, the precinct results, I don't have them by ballot split, but the precinct results, cumulative results, and canvas results are on the county website.
So do you think it's necessary to break that out, or just, okay?
Because this will.
Yeah, we'll have that attached anyway, they can see it, yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't in Hillsdale Schools, was that on the back of the ballot?
No.
It was
The
on the
only
front,
ballot.
everything's on one side in
Yes.
Adams?
Mhm. But it was, combined precincts, Mark, so we had Cambria operating, we had Hillsdale Township,
For Hillsdale Schools?
and then Hillsdale City took
Right.
care of the city people,
Right,
and then the others were
The
the two townships.
The combined part was Jefferson and Woodbridge combining with Cambria and
Gotcha.
Fayette combining with
Hillsdale
Hillsdale
Township.
Township.
Yeah, it saves the taxpayers money.
Mhm.
People, you know, they get a little owly because they are leaving their own, but yet when they think about the whole picture, you know, all of the individual jurisdictions that represent, that make up Hillsdale schools, when you can bring those together, you know, it does save a lot of money.
You send notice too, don't you?
Yes,
To the
to every,
electors where they're voting?
yes, yes, certainly.
Okay,
Oh, she says she's on.
yeah, all right, you're fine, thank you. We sent a notice for a combined precinct notice to every individual registered voter,
Right,
if their precinct was combined. If their precinct was not combined, like in Adams, they would have gotten a household letter, just one per household.
Mhm. Just letting you know of the election. Mhm. So what's all the tents up for at the college, Jacob?
I have no idea.
Graduation?
They have-
I assume so.
Yeah.
I've been trying to desperately finish my final papers the last, this is the first time I've come out on the light of day.
Really? Sorry.
Not
Oh,
feeling
good
well
morning.
this morning, so.
Happy to see you.
Slow start.
Did you say something about the parking?
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
get
it.
here and nobody left me a space.
We were thinking that was an issue.
Never
Is
reserved
this, is this my spot?
The queen chair.
Oh, yeah, well, that's me, all right. Oh, my goodness, so sorry.
Does everybody have a red pen? You don't? Lawrence, are you all set with a red pen? Great.
It is red, not
Yeah, I believe it is. Great.
It looks red. We all
on
see
the
it.
outside, yeah, looks like red on the inside.
It's good.
Okay, shall I call the meeting to order then? All right, well, let's begin. We start with the roll call. So,
I can just, for formality's sake, just call out your names. Jacob Brents. Chair.
Present.
Linda Thorpe.
Here.
Vice Chair Lawrence Peter.
Here.
And Mary Hill.
Here.
All right.
Okay. Well, we have to approve the agenda for today. The one change is that we're apparently moving Adams Township to the end in section 6 there beneath Hillsdale Township.
We're doing what now?
Well, to keep, even though it's alphabetical, Adams is always a first
Oh,
line.
gotcha.
It kind of keeps all Hillsdale City together,
Got it.
and then Adams at the end.
Well, I motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
as amended.
Yes, amended.
We also have to approve minutes.
Well, all those in favor, yes.
Oh, yes.
Aye. Jacob.
Aye.
Opposed.
Now, we have to approve the minutes from the August 4th, 2022 meeting, which we have a copy of in front of us.
Everybody make a combine those two if you'd like.
I had told him to do it.
Oh, do it separately? Okay, no problem.
That would be better.
I move to, accept the August 4th, 2022 minutes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? He's in training.
Oh,
I know. In there.
Okay, the November 10th, 2022 meeting minutes as well.
I need a couple minutes to go over that.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
let's get your email on.
No, I didn't see it.
So it was 2, 3, 1 and 3, or, yeah. Okay. Finals, okay. Excuse me.
On this, did we get a response back from Somerset on what they're going to do?
We did not get a formal response. I have been in communication with their clerk, who is interested in having a, Ada County Board.
Right.
But his initial idea was to have it in the library at the Township Hall, which is in the same building, and it only has like a gate to close it off. It's not a solid door. And Ada County boards are supposed to be sequestered from the public completely,
Right,
and so I
they need
told
a
him,
separate bathroom,
Right.
separate door, and there can be no flow through.
I'm still working on that with them. My suggestion is the Drum Community Building. But I also wouldn't be opposed, although I'm not sure we'll have the time with all the early voting stuff we're gonna be doing, but I see the possibility of combined AV County Board in the future between Somerset and Hillsdale, who have the most AV voters. Although, with early voting, those AV voter numbers might go down too, so there's a lot of questions still. But we're in talks with them, and we certainly will not, well, we can't force them, but we can be very strong in our opinion about not having the same situation that they had last time. And
Yeah,
that
it can't
letter-
be the same, we've gotta get that resolved. And it doesn't mean that the solution they come up with has to go from that election forward forever. They can try something new, and if that doesn't work, try something else new, but we can't have that again.
Yep,
In my view,
I agree.
Right.
Yeah, you know, that was a mess.
I will continue to have conversations with them, but a lot of things are just, everybody's waiting for the legislature to make change, you know, the changes that are coming and what's gonna happen, so.
Are you ready for a motion? I motion that we accept the minutes of November 10th, 2022 as written.
Second.
All in favor? Those opposed? Right, minutes have been approved. Next is an overview of the May 2, 2023 special election.
Yeah, so, there were 6 precincts open. We're canvassing those precincts here today. City of Hillsdale had combined Wards 1 with Ward 3, and Ward 2 was combined with Ward 4. So in the City of Hillsdale, their Wards 3 and 4 are the largest, so those were the ones that were open, and then 1 and 2 combined. And then they only had the school proposal to consider. Adams Township, of course, had the recall, and a small portion of the township had the Hillsdale Community School proposal. Allen, normally in these situations, see there's this document called the Coordinating Committee Agreements that happen every 4 years between the schools, the clerks, the counties, to decide if there's a school election, who's in charge, who does what, basically. And according to that agreement that was signed in 2021, Allen would have combined with Hillsdale Township, but because Quincy put something on the ballot, and there's a large chunk of Quincy community schools in Allen, then they stayed open for this election. If you look at their, when you get to that point, their numbers are so low, it was an embarrassment, but I think they had like 8% turnout, so less than 100 voters, including AVs that they processed the whole day with, you know, paying inspectors and all of that, so. And then Cambria, like I said before, was combined and had, that was Jefferson and Woodbridge that came there, and their AVs came there and got processed with that tabulator. And then Hillsdale had some voters in Fayette that joined them in Hillsdale Township, so. All in all, everything went well. Balanced, and we were reporting results, I think, by 11 o'clock, everything was reporting, although on the website, there was a little issue with a setting that I had to adjust on the EMS workstation. It showed the numbers on the reports, but in the top right corner, it was showing 4 of 6 precincts reporting, and that's because the computer was thinking Wards 3 and 4, whereas Wards 1 and 2, so it was saying partially reporting, even though it had all the data. So I had to just go in there and kind of just adjust that. But we were reporting good numbers by 11 o'clock, so everything went well. Would you have anything to add? We're doing the overview, and I went through each precinct and just kind of how the night went.
Okay, Hillsdale Township,
I didn't cover any issues that, I mean, the small issues that came up that were
Oh.
resolved.
okay, so, Mr. Chair, do you want me to just address the Hillsdale Township issue at the time, when we get there?
Yes,
or-
when we get there, it's fine.
Okay,
And I think we're done with the overview.
okay,
If there's any questions.
yeah, overall it was pretty smooth. We had a representative from Hark here that goes around, checking to make sure everything is running smoothly, and the inspectors were very happy to see somebody there. So,
Well, shall we move into the canvas?
yeah, if you wanna start with Hillsdale City Ward 1,
Ward 3.
oh, Ward
Precinct
3's
1.
precinct.
Although I believe they did not label Ward 3, they labeled it Ward 1, so.
So this is new for them, they combined just to save funding, obviously.
So here's City Ward 3, So the inspectors labeled it Ward 1, Precinct 1, so that should be, we'll just double check when we can open it up, that it's 183 yes to 159 no. Then we'll know we're on the right one.
We want to compare the numbers, right?
Oh, it's right here.
Yes, I think you have to confirm.
I was just wanting to confirm that because they mislabeled it Ward 1 instead of, this should be Ward 3. Ward 3 was
Go
open.
to the summary page.
If we look at the results,
Oh,
Summary,
okay.
summary page.
if it's 183 yes to 159 no, then we'll know we're looking at the correct one.
Ballot summary, is this what we're talking about here?
Well, it'd be the tape,
Right here.
yep, the report, the tally report.
Where's our tape?
183 to
159, yeah.
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Well, that's
we just wanna make sure we're all on the same page.
Yep.
All right.
the number that you have.
no, this will be probably on the certificate of election inspectors, like what Linda has here.
That's 022. So 08022. And 19802.
So one will, yeah,
Okay,
one will be
yeah.
for the bag that contains the ballots that is retained by the clerk, and then the small bag is your memory bag.
So we're looking at, back here, this one,
That one.
looking at that number right there.
The same order. 198023.
Yes.
So that's good. I'll take that then. So that was the bag that the memory devices are in. Hello,
Hello.
welcome, there's chairs right there.
Hi, Susie.
Hello.
Just as a reminder, you guys keep working, but I'll just kind of give you some things to remember. We just checked the seals on the memory storage bags and compared them to the poll book. We would need to make sure that all inspectors at close of polls sign the tapes at the bottom.
Okay.
Absentee ballot count, we do that, remember, and count those up and then compare that to the number of AV ballots that were processed on the ballot summary page.
We can have two ballots or.
Yeah. Three?
While they're doing that, if you guys want to look at making sure the poll book's filled out completely,
They have the
easy to
poll
poll book,
book.
okay, yeah, so let's see.
They're doing the absentees right now.
Yeah.
Did you say 7? 27.
So just for the audience, our canvassers are very thorough, making sure that the precinct is in balance. So what they're doing is they're taking the list of voters that's in the poll book, they're adding up everything that says absentee ballot. Then on the ballot summary page, they will compare those numbers to make sure that it is in they balance. Because on the laptop, you can plug those numbers in. It's not automatic like your spoiled ballots. The laptop will automatically put that on the ballot summary as to how many spoiled ballots there are. But this one you hand type in, so we wanna make sure that those are in balance. Now, if they are not, then that's a whole nother procedure. And we'll explain that if that happens, because the inspector might have accidentally issued a regular ballot, but it was an AV ballot, absent voter ballot, so. They're very good at being detectives trying to get it in balance.
remarks, cause there was
Yeah,
one.
there was one that they started putting them in as regulars, they were really absentees. But they started putting.
Did that get, yeah, and I don't know if that got corrected.
Let's figure,
Had that many?
might be on the
Yeah,
next
there
page.
were 40-some.
Oh, were there?
I'm just guessing, or not guessing, but there were quite a few. That what had happened is that he was processing the absentees and calling them up in the laptop and issuing them like regular ballots. And so that's why I didn't know whether they went back and corrected it
I
or
had
not.
mentioned that they should, but apparently they didn't, so, but they made a comment in the remarks and they list the ballot range that they had issued in, or marked in the e-poll book as regular ballots when they were actually AV ballots. So they
Okay.
noted it in the remarks and they gave the ballot range for the numbers.
We're
Okay.
showing 127 and that was 170? What's the difference here?
Yeah, there was quite a few before it was
Is that
discovered.
52?
I think 52 was the first one, if we look at the, let's look at the, where's the list? What I would suggest is marking any of them, and writing an absentee on the ones that are, you can see 52 is marked absentee in
That's
print.
number 50.
That's
Oh,
3052,
sorry, here,
yeah,
yeah.
voter number 50, but it's
Yeah.
ballot number 50. So I would suggest going back and writing absentee on the ones you're gonna, run into in-person voters, like this one is outside of the range, but anything below this number, ballot number, should be an absentee ballot. And then that'll adjust your count and see if it matches.
So anything below that is gonna be absentee, so we're going to write that in red here, is that correct?
Yes.
Absentee?
Yeah.
I mean, you could just do AV, right?
Yeah, AV.
right,
Yeah,
That'd be
right,
quicker,
right,
yeah.
yeah.
Simpler.
So you wanna write with your red pen and make and do
We'll
those?
go back to page 1, I think.
We're gonna
So we're starting with anything below
300.
30,052.
Yep.
Let's wait till they, yeah.
No. Yes?
Yeah, one, yeah, sure.
What time is your meeting?
I can down.
What's it?
Dylan's.
Okay. Mary, would you rather have a calculator to have a tape?
Oh, well, I suppose that would be a
Would
good
that be easier
idea.
for you?
Yeah, that
Is there
would
one?
have the numbers.
Probably
One
Carol's.
and two.
She's not here today.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We always get these tough ones, don't
We
we?
do, don't we? Yeah. Best.
Right off the bat.
It was a year and a half ago that we had one that tied us up for.
Quite a while,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's terrible.
Well, I think that, yeah, that was last November, wasn't
so.
it?
Was it?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah, we really had to be detectives on that one.
We were upstairs in the other room then. when
Oh, no, that, I was thinking of the one down
We
here.
had one last year.
We did,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think you're right, we did have, well, we've had more than one of these over the years.
Yeah.
It comes down to one board, one precinct, you know, and it just takes forever.
Yeah, because they caught it.
As long as they're, all right, add those.
Here, Mary, we got a calculator for you.
Just to put that in.
By
Should have some floor,
Lawrence, I do. So I'll let you put that
pretty much.
Uh,
I got them right here, will that work? or-
will it fit? Well, I mean, it'll reach. Okay, good. Thank you.
Yep.
Lawrence.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
You wanna print, Mary? You have the print on it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you printing the tape, is what I'm saying?
Oh, that's right, we were gonna print more.
Oh?
21.
Here's one of these years. We couldn't tell too much, the way you jumped.
27.
I think that would be that,
You know, to keep for,
rather than our phones.
yeah, cause that way we can look back at the tape and review.
27.
We just take those numbers, I don't think you need to add those again, do you? Since we already added those. If it doesn't balance, we'll go back and re-add.
26. 10. 7. 2.
Okay, go.
Go. I mean, thanks. Time for that. Does everybody understand what happened there?
That was stupid. It didn't advance. How do I advance this?
There should be an arrow. Oh, you see an arrow?
Stuck in there.
Just hold it down. Hold it down.
See what it did?
Yeah. Let's see if it does
Looks like
better.
I had it, might have been in there, right here. All right.
You wanna get that
We
door
got
open,
one.
so anybody else wants to come in.
Right, you gotta keep the door open for a public meeting. We'll just leave it like that.
That's it.
I think that was just a
Oh.
group.
Kudos to your maintenance guys, those things swing beautifully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they sure do.
Besides just
Kudos indeed.
Are we going to attach this? Because if so, we better add it again, because the last figure,
No.
okay,
That's
just
just-
for our sake, okay.
So I believe we already read the numbers, but I will just re-verify that. Yes, 183, no, 159.
And that should
We
also
got
match
here,
the tape
183 and
hundreds.
115, yes, that's
Okay.
correct, all right.
So, before we put everything away, let's just make sure we've,
I don't think they went over the canvas or the whole book yet.
you know,
Okay, there it is.
you guys have, your tape can match, the number of votes or ballots cast on your tape matches the number written on the certificate. So there should be, you got it? Okay,
Yes.
perfect, that's good. I think he's
Oh,
writing.
comment,
yeah.
Writing a comment.
So they have to go over the full book yet. Good. Thank you, Ed.
Now,
All right, so
Made
what
a
they're
comment
going,
in here
what-
indicating that the reason why we marked all of these in red, that we've just gone through here, was because of the comment here, the last one. So I made note of that and I said, per comment 5/2/23 at 8:16:27 PM, absentee votes not recorded as absentee were duly marked as such.
Good.
good, so right now Lawrence and Mary will look over the full book. They will make sure that all the boxes have been checked, the signatures are there.
we
We've already
sometimes.
done that.
Yeah, we've done that.
Oh, we already did that? Where was I? Maybe I was on the other way on.
Yeah.
But,
So,
Yeah, we couldn't see any discrepancies there, everything looked like it was
Okay.
completed,
The remarks were made by a user that was not
oh,
the admin
did
account.
you notice that? I did not.
Elizabeth W.,
Okay,
she
good.
included her
She
last
did 'em all.
name, and if you were to make comments, then
Well, you can see, you can, if it's
right, we can
Elizabeth,
go back and compare it, but they could, I think there's enough room to add that in, I don't know
You'd
actually, I've
prefer
never done it
last name?
myself, sure.
I can make a note.
I don't know if there's enough room.
I'm not sure there is or not, but they could do like first initial, last name would be better than the first name, last name.
Yeah,
I agree.
right.
That would be, you know, I mean, we're tightening them up, and that would be Elizabeth Wilds is the chairperson. So we had the chairperson who was doing that, that's fine.
So she did all the remarks then?
Yeah, every single one.
Okay.
And remember previously, we were just having, just first names Daisy or whatever, and we had no clue.
Mhm.
Or just initials, GKW,
yeah.
Yeah.
all right?
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Alright, we're moving on to Ward 4 then.
Or, yes.
You can get her in.
These were some nice handy reports prepared by Aid that sort of summarize everything that we're gonna do. So they break down, and you'll see some of them when you have like here, and this would be City of Hillsdale, where Hillsdale
There we
Township
go,
Schools,
yeah.
right?
The-
When we
the
got
other
to
page that
Adams
looks like-
Township,
Right.
and also over Allen, you'll see some of them are
Actually, it's
Hillsdale
right here.
Community School or Quincy Community Schools, so.
198, 198, 103.
Oh, you're
It's on
looking
Well,
at
what were
the
you-
wrong page.
Yeah, you'll have to go to the back
It looks-
there, Linda.
198103, because I have the carbon of that, right?
Yes, okay, yeah, go back just a little bit.
Or you have the
Where the
carbon,
tape
I
is
thought I had
at.
the original over here.
So we'll make this to compare to.
The
I'll
number,
go ahead and read the numbers
Okay.
at the end. If you wanna start on either the full book or the absentee count.
the number you were looking at first there, Linda, was the seal number that was put on the
Right.
tabulator, right after the public accuracy test and throughout the day on. Gotcha.
Should we count these while we're here?
Sure. Yeah, you might count.
She wants to, you go ahead.
I think it's a good idea.
16.
I parked it in the church.
Around in front of the courthouse over there, there was one spot. Back into it, now, I don't do that very often, I did a good job. Only took me one time.
Good for you. It's good to know you still have the skill when you need it.
Well, I never really had it, you know what I mean? 23, the cameras really makes a difference.
Well, yeah, and that's special. Cameras.
one. That's it.
Is there a way to end this?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that advances it.
Oh.
Where's the hit?
These youngins.
There's a,
I was nervous to use this.
there's a typewriter next door, and I can't figure out how to use it, I gotta ask her.
Come on.
I worked in a bank. Years.
How'd you get it?
120.
Way in the
For your
back.
ballot summary there.
There you
go.
It says 140.
145.
Look at your remarks.
They might have done the same thing that
Yeah.
we just went through.
Oh, I hope not.
I do too. Need to start that. Okay,
I doubt that that was the same problem, because it was, they use the same AV inspectors that just work on AVs.
Oh.
And they go from one precinct and then they go over to the next. So they should have learned their lesson with that one and not
Yeah.
that mistake.
Still have your tape?
Are all the pages, have
Wait a
all the
minute.
pages, Linda, been
We
printed?
missed it.
No, I missed a page.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Glad Penny's got this on video. Watching Jacob home in on him.
25. Will that do it?
145.
Easy fix. All right, so we'll do our numbers now if you guys are ready.
You looked at the remarks, and remarks are all okay?
Yeah, the remarks are just
How
basic.
about the names?
Sorry.
Nothing questionable?
We have the same thing with the
Yeah.
names, where it's first name,
First
last
name.
initial. So,
Okay.
But there is, it's not admin, it's all his names, right?
just write them.
Which one Terry, I can tell her. Terry died.
Oh, are you?
I said Teresa.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, Terry.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make a note of the findings, the clerk will see it too. That's something the clerk, I think, sets up for them ahead of time, is those usernames.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a very long tape. What did they do with it? We don't have the zeros tape at the beginning, do we, or anything?
So there's a power and sum test report, there is a zero, yep, they've got zeros there, and then open polls report. Okay, and then the election.
That's right.
Okay, so this one normally would have been, I believe, in the local clerk envelope, right?
Right, so
Yeah.
in their instructions, your zeros tape will print out first thing in the morning. You leave that attached, and then the first totals tape that prints out is still connected to the zeros tape that goes in the local clerk envelope. So we will write that up in the findings, that the only thing that's supposed to be attached in there is the totals tape.
Right, it's not that big of a mistake.
Right.
You know,
Well, it is in the
So will they not
directions,
have
though.
this then in their, they won't have this, is that?
Well, what we'll do after the meeting, we'll go ahead and make sure that the local clerk gets that zeros tape for her
Okay.
records.
All right. Any numbers?
Okay, yes, 192, no, 117.
Do we wanna go through now?
too in Allen because they hosted Quincy School, which is obviously in Branch County. And also Hillsdale Schools.
The state opener.
I think they,
There are these numbers here.
yeah, they had it sealed and then they had to reopen it because they forgot to put something in it.
Yeah.
So what we should mark though is when they reopened it, all they did was
Well,
put
that looks good.
Scotch tape. They should have used another seal, second seal.
Checked.
So we'll put that in the
We'll
findings.
see what they're,
See what I'm saying?
Mhm.
this
When it gets reopened, they have to use a second seal.
You see what I'm missing?
Yeah, they should have put that seal over the top with it, you know, the tape is fine, but another seal over the top.
Yeah.
Mistake opened or something. I can't remember.
Spelled in. Okay.
So that goes to what you were talking about, there, that is a remark section.
They were made by Margie.
PD, USB, in drive bag, seal broke and changed.
Okay, so
Oh,
they
they're talking
put,
about this.
they put, PV accent, used.
Electronic
Like they put a
USB.
flash drive and
So,
then
yeah,
you
they put-
download.
They redid this seal and see how they crossed it out here?
Yeah.
That's what they're talking about.
Oh, okay, okay.
The person who put these remarks for your remarks,
There's no, it doesn't say
they
who
have
did
to
this.
identify who they are.
Yeah.
So we can't.
Yeah.
Reach out and touch that person. These remarks, it doesn't matter too much, we can understand it, but they should
Correct. I'll
Well,
put that in the findings as well.
identify who they are.
It is on here.
It's gonna be either Sue or whoever that other signature is, but that's, they
Yeah,
should
they
still
should
put
definitely
their,
have
I'm
done
just
that.
saying, the remarks section on the old book, where they,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we always put our names down, they should put their names down whenever they make a mark, right, or your.
Make any changes as what they did here, yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's what I'd say there, so.
Let's see what we got here.
so I'm writing that down for them.
They, it looks like they ran out of a three-hole punch.
Yeah. They didn't punch up.
How do you run out of them?
Order, second voter, 8:30, we have two more voters at 9:15, two more. Bonnie was.
See that? Ooh,
Three people at one time.
three at one time. Still pretty boring, that's what it says.
So
That's
the
not
lady,
a nice remark, I don't like that remark. LOL, she wasn't right, it was a lady who was kind of, she was complaining about people outside her bedroom door. That's what she is doing in here, and they put on here,
I'll read the whole comment.
LOL, she wasn't right, and that, I don't think LOL is appropriate. Don't make remarks like that in a full book.
Yeah,
That's-
So, and Bonnie in this case didn't give us her last name, which we can infer from the front here would be.
Starts with an E, it looks like.
And Bonnie, yeah, I can't even quite read out how to read her last name, but, so Bonnie should do that.
Yeah, she needs to be cautious about things like that, or.
Yeah, I got a note.
here.
Wise or something.
The clerk had told me she actually called the police for a welfare check on that lady because she was, just talking nonsense and then mentioned she lived at home alone and had a bunch of cats and then just left, and so she called the police to have a welfare check on her, cause she was clearly, something was wrong.
Yeah, whether something was wrong or legitimately people were outside her window
Yeah.
whispering things to her, I don't know, but, you know,
Yeah,
the election is not the place to get that
Well,
resolved, right?
Obviously, she wouldn't know that because she had that problem. Yeah, you're right, you don't go there for that. Okay, what we got?
26 and 5, and according to mine, that would
Goal
be 31.
31.
Yes, that's what we got. That's correct.
So let's check out and see what they put
That's
there.
correct.
31
Yeah,
matches
good.
that. So do you have a 3-hole punch, or do you want to?
We'll take care of it.
yep,
All right.
I can go do that right now, actually.
You got all the stuff that needs to be
Okay.
punched up.
Just
Anything
let me
else?
know when you're ready for totals.
No, I think that's it.
I'll be right back.
Of course, the way that the margins were on the
But
document.
it's Allen Township, so it's
How many of them are even within the HCS district?
probably not,
Yeah.
small part.
This is the,
It's probably school choice.
So we'll do Hillsdale first, and have you find it there, Lawrence?
What's that?
Schools, Hillsdale schools first? Numbers.
Yeah,
Well, I'm looking at, I'm confused on the page here, hold on. That's okay, Hillsdale Community Schools,
Yeah,
we
we
have
have a whopping 2
2
yes,
for yes,
and
3 for
3
no.
no.
That's correct, okay.
We have Quincy. Thank you.
Quincy, we have a 2-9 yes, and a 2-4 no. Right.
Okay, we're good.
Cambridge Township now.
yep.
So, wait a minute, what are we doing? Oh, you're
I'm
putting
just,
that
I'm
one
trying
away.
to get this put away because the 3-hole punch amendment needed to be. Did you want to see? There we are.
And I might
I
find
know,
that in
it's
that.
really,
Tape up here.
There's a seal in there. That's in the
Not sure,
special election.
they didn't apparently need to use it, or
They had one on the other side of the
Pictures,
envelope.
initials, so is this a duplicate or something?
they probably filled it out like, you know, ahead of time to use on envelopes, and they realized maybe they, cause sometimes they have extra envelopes, like a VAT storage envelope, and they don't end up using it, or original ballot envelope, if there's no duplicates, they won't use it.
not applicable,
Oh,
just
so-
one,
Both.
both of them, yeah.
How does it look? Filled out okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Number, check everything.
Try to get our number,
204078.
there we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Check, there's one that's not checked. Missing one check mark on, on the, certificate, inspector certificate, they just didn't check one of them, so.
Recorded all formal counts.
Says NA.
Not
Put an NA beside it.
Are you satisfied by the
Well,
NA, or
there's
do
a
you?
couple of them, yeah, there's
But
another
they're,
couple
they
of them.
said they weren't applicable, so that's why they didn't check.
They didn't
Are
check
you
them.
satisfied with that then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I won't
yeah,
wait.
We just didn't read all the way through, we just.
Right, but
Yep.
they should check them.
26.
All right. Now, where are we? 20, okay.
20.
Yes. 23. Twenty-two.
You been traveling?
No, not much at all.
17.
No, I'm not doing it now. It's been a little bit delayed because of governmental delays on the distant end, but they're looking at September.
Got a little break?
Yeah, that's nice. It's real good, actually. We just had to have a well drilled.
Oh, no. We
You
had a
know,
neighbor
for-
that had to have one drilled. That was great.
Last year, there were 4 well drilling companies in Hillsdale County. 2 of them decided to go home, but they were done. This year, there were 2 left, and then one of them went out of business in between doing work at our place. Stuyvesant, they shut down apparently,
25.
so it's now down to Mr. Stewart, who I think hasn't done that.
I didn't see who did that.
Unless it's someone from out of the county. Of course, we had snow and sleet, bracken, but we finally got hot water back 2 days ago, after a month.
Oh, my word.
Laura was showering with Mary at Mary Mart's house, and I was showering with a neighbor over in West Bel Air, and every day we'd carry in 20 to 25 gallons of water in jugs.
Oh,
Carry 'em in. Don't realize how much water you use in
Mhm.
a prolific sense.
And when you have to limit it like that, you think,
Yeah,
you can't waste any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
As well.
No, I mean, that's.
Oh.
They put AV counts at the bottom themselves.
Okay, so
Well,
that's nice, and we have
Yeah.
tried to, at the last inspector training last summer before the big
26,
elections, we had mentioned that, so that's nice that,
If they have time to do it, yeah.
Yeah.
You just need a bigger club.
We would have to have our generator, we were without power for 5 days.
Right, was that the ice storm,
17.
24, 25, February.
2.
Is we had to get a generator. That's July before you. Thank goodness we had it.
Are you on propane there, natural?
No, natural. Yeah.
The generator?
Out there, yeah, our gas bill went sky high.
293.
Okay, so
Equals,
let's
gives me that total.
So, yeah, the T.
There we go. Success.
So numbers are okay?
Yes.
That's great.
and we're also checking all the signature lines that everybody present at the end of the night is signing the tapes.
We did all that.
So I guess when she has, now this is short,
Right there, sure.
Joanne. Sure. I thought this was her, but her voicing was different last time.
We're at,
Yeah.
who's the name?
Jill.
Jill?
Yeah.
Oh, Jill. Oh, I see now.
You see that?
That's a long comment.
I don't know what.
It's a lengthy remark.
Wow.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a conversation.
Yeah.
Questioning.
Okay, so they put in a very descriptive comment about a voter that was
Mhm.
questioning things, and
Yep.
what they said to him. Okay.
And they had a lot of time.
What were they questioning?
The ballot, how he he was concerned with the ballot numbers match the tapes and all this stuff.
Oh.
So you take the ballots out of storage, count them to make sure the number matches the tapes. And then the voter asked Carol to be taken off the permanent AV list.
Which list? There's two now,
Oh.
because of proposal two,
It
there's
doesn't
the,
say though.
that's probably what he was talking about. There's
Right.
the AV application list, which is the old list that we've had for years.
Yeah.
And now there's the permanent ballot list.
And they're still promulgating the implementing instructions for that.
They were,
Pretty much every election year for the next few cycles is going to be adjusted as the instructions get run out.
That and, yeah, the qualified voter file, they keep changing things to try and help with the implementation of different things, and they'll change it half, like this election, we have been processing AVs, and then all of a sudden they change something, and now, you know, we're already halfway into it, and it's very frustrating.
The tapes.
Sorry from James.
oh, yeah.
Who changes that? The state?
Yeah, the state.
Yes, 243, no, 158.
So there was no room in Cambria, I didn't get anything to write down.
That's right.
I
There's a lot of reminders, a lot of complaining voters.
Well, it's always good to have it documented.
Right. A lot of remaining voters, right.
Hillsdale Township?
Precinct one is what I have, yep. We're all on track.
So while you're getting ready here, I'll explain. Janelle Stewart, the clerk at Hillsdale Township, called, it was probably about 9:30 Tuesday morning, and said, "We are too off." And they couldn't figure it out. Well, then they finally discovered that whoever was processing the AVs forgot to take out 2 ballots from the secrecy sleeves and get them tabulated. So,
They've been processed in the whole book, but
Yeah.
not taken out of the secrecy sleeve. Tabulated. So then those two numbers were off.
yeah, then once that was taken care of, they balanced.
I'm gonna ask you to look through this, Larry, because I could be wrong, but I'm missing the, I think, here it is. All right.
204-070.
Good.
So that's a testament though that,
Thank you.
in Hillsdale Town, well, really in all the precincts cases, they check to make sure they balance throughout the day constantly. And so that's why why are we too off? It was really a good thing that they do that and found that.
We're missing check marks here.
On the election inspectors.
Yeah, it's,
What's the name of that report? Inspectors completion
completion
certificate.
certificate, they did not complete the check,
Oh,
there.
inspectors completion.
No, they did it. That one look all right. Hard to read. Theirs would be more clear,
Yeah, we can.
and we can't really verify that, they have to do that. 33, okay.
We read more.
So if they don't have any numbers, they just, they can leave that blank, they put it right.
No, that's
No.
not,
Yeah, that's
So
what
now
they
it's
just
just up
did.
so that was Hillsdale Township.
Hillsdale Township.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Is that also, that's the same one, okay.
Barbara and Michelle, the last name, the last initial.
they just got one first.
First name only, so we-
I don't know.
they're gonna fix that.
Yeah, that's an issue.
Mhm.
Definitely mark that down.
We'll have to have that person come in and sign it, yeah. Can you see?
Yeah.
She, came up in the, I don't, why would, there's a remark that I don't understand.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, go ahead and read it, Mary.
Russ, well, I'll do that, was issued ballot number 25, it came up in the EDV as 26. What happened?
Yeah. So what happened is that the state, see, Monday after 4 PM, the clerks all download their flash drive, okay, from the qualified voter file. And after 4 PM, because she did call a state, they said they did some type of an update or something which adjusted some numbers in the system already, in the qualified voter file. Because what she had on the flash drive didn't always match what was, it was crazy. But
I
that,
don't
the state
understand any
did
of
that, yeah, after 4, so I said, just document it, you know, make sure. Because the envelope, the application and the ballot all matched, those numbers all matched.
Okay.
But what was being brought up on the laptop, you know, did not, so,
I really think an update during the
oh,
election.
you got me.
That is really stupid.
Yeah. Especially after they tell the clerks, don't download this until after 4. Well, they all do that, and then they do an
Yeah.
update after 4, so. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's our phone number.
Okay.
File the full book as well, but there's a missing signature too, so. They could have separated it. And then forgot to sign this one, but they signed the whole book, I don't know, I'm just seeing.
22.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Would it be helpful if I tried to get Ginger Stewart to, just on speakerphone, explain that situation in a little more depth?
I don't know. I don't know how the rest of you feel about it.
26.
I think, I'm not sure, but I think it was from Fayette, didn't they house Fayette, or do Fayette?
I would, so if it's all right, I wouldn't mind calling her, because I think, I heard a different version of that story from someone else, I can't remember who it was. Cause we talked to all inspectors and stuff yesterday, and clerks, and I had heard something about, well, I don't even wanna say, cause I wanna just hear it straight from Janelle, I think.
Sounds
So
fine, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll call her if you guys
Yeah.
are all right with that.
I don't see any comment matching.
Mention what? About something in
So this
the
one.
challenge. Oh, yeah, it doesn't say in the remarks
I don't
anything
see
about
anything
that.
on
Hi,
the mark.
Janelle.
It could be, Well,
Could we're at the board canvas meeting, and I'm wondering if I can put you on speaker and you can just explain that situation with that,
I think they were Fayette Township
uh,
agents.
was it an AV ballot from Fayette that got changed or something? Can you, well, hold on, I'll put you on speaker and see if you can speak as loudly as you can, okay? All right, this is Janelle Stewart from Hillsdale Township. Go ahead, Janelle.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so when the township clerk from Fayette, Karen, she brought over the AV ballot with the application, and then I delivered them to the precinct. So as they were processing them, Karen had told me that she spoiled one of the ballots, which she gave me the ballot that was returned in the mail, the one that she had spoiled. Well, the reason she spoiled it was because, the voter had not received it. Like the husband had received his, but the wife didn't. And so, she had reissued that one, and spoiled the old one. Well, because that old one was returned back to her, like that day or something like that. So anyway, I did receive, the spoiled ballot that was unopened. And so Karen had reissued that voter a new ballot. And so, but she did not get that changed in QVF by the time I had downloaded the EPD. And I did that a little after 4 on Monday. Karen had made some changes in QVF, but it was Monday evening and also on election day, Tuesday, not thinking that I had already downloaded the EPD and the numbers would not match what we had or whatever. So we had a little confusion there. So I can't remember the lady's name.
Rachel from the state?
Okay, she was the one that had the spoiled ballot?
No,
Oh, I'm sorry.
she was talking about the state person that you called from QVF. We don't know the name of the spoiled ballot.
We say.
Oh,
That's the one.
okay. No, I did not,
That's the only one.
I have not talked to QVF,
Okay.
about this issue, not yet. I need to call and ask them about something else. But anyway, so I can't remember the lady's name, but the ballot, anyway, we had to make a note of that in the EPD because the ballot we processed for that voter was different than the ballot that she had recorded on QV, or the EPD.
Okay, yep.
Is that making sense?
That makes complete sense, and I'll explain it even more, than that, but that's perfect, Janelle. Was there anything else you wanted to add, or?
Okay. I don't think so unless, you have questions.
No.
I wanted to ask a question. Good morning, Janelle, Lawrence, Peter here reviewing it. You had one voter with a challenged ballot. Do you recall that?
Yes, so the challenged ballot was a Fayette Township, voter that had gone over and registered to vote on election day with the township, with Fayette Township clerk. So when he came to the precinct, his receipt, voter receipt that he had received from the clerk stated that he needed to vote on a challenged ballot. So that's the reason that he received that, or the reason that he had voted on a challenged ballot.
And I can explain that further, how that works. Any other? Okay, thank you, Janelle.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, you are welcome.
So just in case the camera didn't pick it up or if there's any questions, the first thing was, the clerks leading up to the election are processing absentee ballots in QVF. Now, they don't open the envelopes, but they know the ballot number, and they know the voter, and they check the signature. And so QVF then knows that this ballot has been issued, and then separately, when this ballot has been recorded as received. And it knows the ballot number associated with that voter. So then, if the data is downloaded after 4 p.m. Monday night before the election, and things change with those, the spoiled ballot after 4 p.m., it's not gonna be on the laptop on that encrypted flash drive that's keeping all that data during the day in the precinct, okay? So that was the discrepancy, and the clerks in this combined precinct had to just communicate with each other, and then it sounds like she documented it in the remarks as well. The other thing with a challenge voter is if they come in to a precinct or a township and they're not registered to vote there on election day, and they don't have, if their driver's license doesn't have the address that they're registering at, the driver's license then only satisfies the photo ID requirement, so then they need an additional piece of information that would verify their residency. So that would be like a utility bill or a bank statement. So when that happens, then it prints out a receipt that they bring to the inspectors that says process this voter as challenged. And the way that they do that, because the stub with a number is always removed from the ballot before it's tabulated. So if there's a challenged ballot, it means that the inspector will write the ballot number in pencil, cover it with a Post-it note or piece of paper so that it's still anonymous. But if need be, you as the Board of Canvassers can investigate and find that ballot and remove it if the person was found to be fraudulent. So it's not an actual different type of ballot, it's just a procedure that they found. So.
But I do remember somebody say they called QVF and there was something with that, so.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
We had, I did it total. I had 19.
What's it?
Okay, so next one is 5.
5.
16.
Yep.
Bingo.
Yep, everything else.
They didn't sign, the Democrat didn't sign, and Marnie wanted to see if they signed their plans.
No.
No.
Okay, so, didn't sign either one.
I don't know if this is necessary or not, but I would maybe think it would be appropriate to have the board make a motion for us to get the Democrat to come in
I think
and
so.
sign that.
We need to have it signed.
Yeah.
So would someone, Jared, if you would,
I'd like to move that we have the inspector come in and sign the sheet for Hillsdale Township Precinct number 1.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
thank you.
Thank you.
Numbers.
The number, sorry, Brian. We had to take that, I'm sorry, where are you at?
Go ahead.
All right, yes, 220, no, 113.
Correct. Over there. Oh, it's all unplugged, okay. There we go. Here.
you. And we are, Adam?
Yes.
Two oh seven.
317.
Everybody sign?
No remarks needed.
There are no remarks.
That's what you think it says on there, so.
That actually never happened.
Did they need,
Maybe on a
Maybe.
procedure that
Right.
was not applicable to this
Right.
election. Could be.
Okay, that is, realize that just pertains to that.
Nineteen. Twenty-one. In a spoiled vote, we don't, count that, correct? Sixteen. Nineteen. Nineteen. Sixteen. Fifteen. 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 Nice. Fourteen. Six. Five. Two. Three. Six.
211.
Except for the school.
Bingo. Republicans get spoiled.
So, I was there all day, and I do remember quite a few times where people would put their pen down on a box, for, I don't know if it was a proposal or what, because, we don't look at the ballots when that happens, that's all anonymous, but the machine will spit it back out if it senses a mark, even the slightest mark in another box for the same race. So then they'll have the chance to spoil it and get a new ballot, and I know that happened at least 3 times that I remember.
There were about 5 or 6 on there. so-
Call it a pen rest or
Yeah.
something.
There's a comment here about one of the voters, he used assistance to vote his ballot, they probably should have given a little bit more. Like what kind of assistance, did he have another person read to him or what?
I do remember someone that was in a wheelchair that came in, so I'm guessing someone just helped facilitate the process there, a family member, if I remember correctly.
But in this instance that Linda mentioned, maybe more detail would be
Yeah.
needed.
Right, that's
Yeah.
what I said, more detail.
Whether it's
Right.
a Republican,
make sure.
Democrat inspector, or whether it's a family member,
Right,
Yeah.
so.
Oh, on that,
Detail
yeah.
on that.
do they really need to say when a child goes in with a parent every time?
Let me just give you an example. So let's say the child is, maybe unruly
Mm-hmm.
and gets hurt
Oh,
and maybe has to be taken to the hospital.
Okay,
And so that way at least you have something
well-
documented as to what happened.
I see.
okay.
Yeah, cause I always thought that was necessary, but I guess
Yeah,
it's
it's really-
necessary.
Parents always took us, you know. Numbers?
Just to be safe, yes. All right, so we'll start with Mark, Nichols on the tape. You got it,
Okay.
Lawrence?
222,
Yep, 222,
Randy Johnson,
394,
394,
correct?
4 write-ins, 2 undervotes.
Yeah, there's, there wasn't any bona fide write-ins, so.
Right.
Stephanie Scott, 214.
Yep.
And Susie Roberts, 406.
Where are we here?
Clerk.
Oh,
And
there.
then we
Oh,
have
yeah, okay.
the Hillsdale Schools,
Yep, 35,
35 yes and 26 no.
Okay.
correct.
Right.
Okay. All right. So any issues with the poll book outside of, did you find anything?
Absentees balance, all those absentees in the ballot. Wonderful. That's terrific.
Still the percentage participation was so low.
That's terrible, isn't it?
It was over 30 for Adams.
What do we have in Allen? 8% on one thing,
Allen was,
4%? Yeah,
I'll go through them here. City of Hillsdale, Ward 3 was 12%, Ward 4 was not quite 11%. Adams was a little over 30%. Allen was 8.36%. Cambria, 12.83%. Hillsdale Township, 16.24%.
I got an Allen Township for Hillsdale Community Schools at 4%.
Oh, on the ballot split, they just get, yeah, that is,
Those that you just read were the percentage of registered voters that actually voted.
correct.
Thank you.
Yeah, there was 123 registered voters in Allen for the Hillsdale Community School District,
Right.
and only 5 of them voted.
And for the Quincy Community School District, only 53 out of 571 voted, not even 10%.
Okay.
Right.
I had one
So, Chairman, if you think it's appropriate, while we are starting to pass these out, but, item number 7 on the agenda, if you wanna handle that or ask for a motion.
I'm sorry, what was?
We need a motion for certifying.
Oh,
That's number 7 on your agenda there. Just like these.
okay, I motion to certify.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? None?
Lawrence, you seconded that.
I did.
All right, do we wanna finish signing and then do public comment, or do we wanna start public comment now? It's up to you, Jared.
Is it just this,
Yes.
Peter? Okay, why don't we sign it first?
Does everybody have a black pen? Got an extra one here.
He's got mine.
Okay.
So, sorry.
Here.
Here was one of them. I started using it. Oh, this is blue. Is that
That's
is that
okay.
acceptable?
Blue or black is fine. While we have.
You're welcome.
You, I mean, yes, or you, if you want something, that's fine too.
Keep it, whatever.
We have one on our website, you can do a lead for all the time. When we get those signed, from Hillsdale, I'll scan it and email it to you, or
Okay.
that's.
The one Democrat.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Or you can come in and inspect.
Okay, well, you just let us know ahead of time when it will be in, comment if you can make it,
Sure.
or if that's possible.
Yep.
So on to public comment, is this a 3-minute sort of cap type thing?
That is up to the board.
3 minutes good for all of you?
Yep.
Okay. So we're open for public comment. I'll let you know when you have about 15 seconds.
Yeah, right.
In the past, on a recall ballot, the language on the ballot came from the petition, the circulating petition, once it was,
In the past.
once it gained enough
Correct.
signatures. When did that change?
Oh, boy.
Could you also state your name for us?
Mark Nichols.
Okay.
Okay, what he's referring to is that way back, when an elected official was recalled, the person that started the recall process had their recall language wrote out. And then the elected official would have an opportunity to do a rebuttal, okay, on the ballot. But boy, this is, let's see, it stopped when I became clerk. It was sometime between, before 2009, because it must have been back in the early, maybe 2000s, Mark, I can't
didn't think it
recall
was
for
that long
sure.
ago.
Huh?
I didn't think it was that long ago.
Yeah.
I thought it might have been still applicable in the late teens.
Yeah, I guess I would have to do some research on that. So anyway, the legislature brought it down now to where basically the recall language is put on a recall petition. And the election commission will approve or deny the language. But then when it comes down to the ballot, there can only be one Democrat, one Republican, and no party affiliation. There can be numerous. names there. So that's what he was referring to, but I'm just not sure of the date, but I'm pretty sure that it had stopped. I know it did, because I don't ever remember, you know, when I started as clerk, you know, that it was like that, so it must have been in the teens. So.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'll say thank you for what you do.
Thank you, that was comment by Penny Swan.
Penny.
Yep, sorry.
Mhm.
Thank you, Penny.
For coming
Thank you, Penny.
to observe.
We have a great team here, 2 Republicans, 2 Democrats, they're very thorough. They've had to call clerks in to retabulate ballots when they felt that there was a problem. And we got the problem resolved, and so they do a good job at trying to make sure everything is in balance and all the Ts are crossed, Is are dotted.
And a lot of that, I think, if I may, Marnie, I think it goes to a lot of the training that has been facilitated through your office of our township clerks, who, at least in my experience over the last 4 years, are very responsive. For instance, today when we contacted Janelle Stewart, she was there, she understood what the issue was, and we were able to get right to her, and there's not been a case, and if we haven't been able to resolve it over the phone, more often than not, in the cases when we've had a problem, and there haven't been that many, but the township clerk has said, oh, look, I'll come right in, you know. So, I mean, I think that is really what makes this work normally
Smoothly,
pretty
yeah.
smoothly. It's for that one-off that we get every now and then,
Right.
you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's because you've got good clerks here in the townships.
I agree.
And Mary, you're the longest serving member on the board right now, right?
I am. I'm the oldest. In many ways.
So,
But just to give the board a heads up, so we will be having an August election. Just one, I believe, reading school.
Yeah, it'll be 2 precincts
2
at this
precincts,
point,
yeah.
unless something else changes. They have 3 precincts, but one of them is in Branch County for
Whether
reading
they'll
committee
open
schools.
up their polling location, I don't know, or whether the Branch County people will come over.
is that
Yeah.
another school issue?
Yeah,
Yeah.
reading. And then, May 10th, we have 3 recall, sections, there's 2 each, recall language, that the election commission will be reviewing.
May 10th?
Yes, I mean, you're not involved, but just to give you a heads up, if the language is approved on any of them, and the number of signatures are collected and certified, it'll be on the November ballot.
And at least one of them will, is, in my opinion, because one of them only requires 44 signatures to
Can
be
you tell us in
initiated.
advance now what these are?
Sure.
Yeah, it's public.
Yeah, and, Cameron Frontier School Board, and the Village of Waldron, and, Somerset Township.
Trust, supervisor and clerk in Somerset,
Mhm.
2 board members of the Camden Frontier, and then the president and a trustee on Waldron Village Council.
So, just a heads up, can't get a break in an odd year.
Now, is that information and the reasons for that, is that
It's
public?
stated on, yeah, sure, it's stated on
On
the
what, your
recall.
website,
We don't have it on the website, but
Where do
we,
we see that?
I can
You can go get it.
email that, or I can show it to you.
I'd like an email.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, I'll
Show
make
her.
a note.
Yeah, my friend here, I
Hey,
know,
would you email all of us, please?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have not looked at the language, but Cameron Frontier, they are wanting to retire the Redskins.
Right.
Oh,
I
I
read
see.
that in the paper.
Make change the
Yeah.
name.
And, that's one of them, like I said, I don't know, something about violations on Somerset. Like I said, I haven't read it
Right.
yet, and I'm not sure on,
It lists
The Village of
MCLs,
Wal-
and there's
yeah.
a couple reasons in the Village of Waldron. But
okay,
if these get approved by the election commission, and then they have to collect signatures, there's a 10-day period where they can make an appeal. There's a lot of steps still, but if they get initiated and they actually turn in the proper number of signatures, then it would be in a November election, not August.
So the election commission, basically, it's the wording that they're more concerned with than
Yes,
anything, that
whether
it's
it's
legal.
clear and it's factual.
Yeah, it has to be clear, so there's no.
I'll give you an example of one that happened in Oakland County. The clerk was telling me, one of the commissioners sneezed on me. That was the actual language that, was submitted.
Oh, my goodness.
And they had to approve it. It was clear and, it was factual.
They were recalling it?
That's incredible.
I don't know how far it got, but that was the language she was telling me, so
Oh,
it's
my
just, yeah.
Straightforward, I guess.
Yeah, whether that was the time of COVID, I don't know,
Oh.
So, I would like to point out, I should have added this during our overview section, but, so there's new legislation, I forget the Senate bill number, that just signed into law, I think on election day, the governor signed it, but it requires, if a military overseas voter, if they send in a ballot and it's postmarked by election day, that we have to, this body here receives it ultimately by the 6th day, which would be the following Monday. We did not have, because that's active right now, we can certify today because we did not have any military overseas ballots, so.
So we would have to come back in then.
You'd have to recess and then come back in,
and do that.
yeah.
I see, okay.
So that'll probably be a thing coming, I mean, we do have military voters,
Sure.
especially on the bigger elections.
Sure.
So just to put on your radar. Now on that military, does that include electronic?
There is a provision now where they can submit it electronically,
Through the security
but there's
portals, I
it's
guess?
a Department of Defense system that's already in place that verifies the signature and they are who they say they are, so it's not just a email. It's a-
Willy-nilly,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
There's a process,
yeah.
so they do have that option, but it has to be through this Department of Defense system, I forget what that's called, but.
But those would get there on time, I
Yeah.
presume. They wouldn't have part of that.